Hi out there. It's Tuesday. I start every one of these with that. 12 o'clock, gonna talk about some ideas for your exterior trim, taking it outside again in this lovely weather. Last week I did the same thing, and then technological genius that I am, I managed to erase it. So could be redundant for a few of you, but here we go again. And before I start some admin stuff, I'm putting together a YouTube channel. Going to put all of the videos that I've been doing the past year on that. Going to be wrapping this part of it, the actual lives, up probably by the end of April. So I will send out some info about that in the coming weeks. And also, if you're listening to all this and you're wondering, do I need some help to make my project either get moving or get right or get completed? I do a discovery call, free 20-minute discovery call that we can have a little chat, figure out what your needs are, and the link to that is in the info down here. So what I'm gonna talk about in terms of the exterior is how to work with brick or stone that's already on your home. And obviously here in Boston, tons of brownstones, so there's a lot of mortar going on, but you know, it's everywhere. And to begin the conversation about that, the thing to know the most, and whether you're working exterior or interior with a fireplace, that brick fireplace, the mortar undertone is green. Same thing with a sidewalk. You know, if it's the exterior and you're close to the sidewalk and you want to make sure all the colors are working together, the undertones of both of those materials is a greenish color. That doesn't mean you have to use green on trims. You just have to use a color that works and has a greenish undertone. You know, even a greige would work very often. So for example, I was just working with some clients and they're looking to do some painting. They have a red brick, typical red brick fireplace, and they're thinking about painting it white because they just don't like how it looks. Somebody else had painted it. The mantle of it, which is wood, they just painted it really stark white. And as we're talking about it, I said the problem here is not that the fireplace isn't working, because it actually worked quite well in the room. The problem is this stark white isn't working with the mortar that's here within the brick. So we went through it with the oversized samples that I use, and we came up with a color called Swiss Coffee, which is a greige, so it's got some green undertone. And so what they're going to do is, for the price of a sample can of paint, they're going to repaint the mantle. And then if that does the trick, then they're good and they don't have to hire somebody or YouTube it until they can figure out how to, you know, paint their fireplace themselves. So it's something to think about too. If you're looking at a mantle that is not quite right and it's painted, think about changing the color so it works with the mortar. And so that obviously translates excuse me, to the exterior, because you've got a lot of brick with mortar and sidewalks. And so here's also just a quickie picture to show you that you can see that the green, that paint has a green undertone, and the gray and the greens are what's working so well together. And that gray is very much the color of cement and mortar, etc., etc. So anyway, same idea with the interior fireplace as your exterior home. The mortar is a fixed element. The sidewalks are fixed elements. And just as if you were looking in a room and, you know, trying to figure out what kind of colors you want to change to, or, you know, what to bring in, if there's something in the room that is a fixed element, a piece of art, a really vibrant rug or something like that, that is the boss of the room. That is the color that you need to match everything else with. And that's what the mortar is, or the sidewalk. So just to show you a sample of what that can look like in terms of matching the mortar. So here are, oopsie, picture of a house before and after. And so basically these people, what happened was they talked to their architect, they talked to another designer, and they said, you know, we want to paint the porch, what do we do? And they both people said, oh, there's already this orangey wood up here, just match it. Well, the problem was the orangey wood doesn't match the mortar. So the other solution that we had was to make it a more gray. So that's the kind of thing that you want to think about, whether you're just doing an exterior of your brownstone or you're adding something to, you know, maybe you're doing a porch. You know, these days people are much more focused on what's happening outside. You could have brick on the back of your home and you want to be, you know, putting all kinds of different stones or something on the outside, you know, in the back too. You just want to make sure that, again, the mortars are all working together. It's a simple thing, but it's one of those things that you'll stare at. If it's wrong, you'll stare at it and stare at it and stare at it, and you won't be able to figure out what the problem is. And again, it doesn't have to be a green shade, obviously. With this guy, it was a gray, but as I said, it's a greige, as they say, which is beige and green together. So there is that green undertone. So the other thing about exterior, if you have a lot of, like, here's another example. This house has a lot of red stone on it. So the red stone is the boss. There's no way around that. What happened was they painted it in a green that really did not work with the stone. I think the stone has kind of a purpley undertone. If you actually see it online, it does. So, and this is not my work, but look what happens when they change it up so that the color of the house, and now the trim is white, which is great, but the color of the house is a greigey color, which works with the stone. So, you know, the color can change it substantially, obviously. So if you are doing a consult, you know, an exterior or even interior consult, and it's mostly colors, but especially in the outside, the one good way to approach it is to not be looking, quite frankly, for endless options. Because if you are matching to the fixed element, to the mortar, to the stone, to the sidewalk, to the, you know, whatever else is there, the best thing to do is make sure that the person you're working with understands the fixed elements are the bosses, and they really should only be giving you a couple of options in terms of what to paint the entry or the deck or the railing or whatever it is you're doing. If you have any questions about that, please send me an email or Facebook message or whatever it is. All that info is down, I don't know, down there. I don't know where it is, but I put it in the thing before I started. So that is it. Hope you have a great week. If you have any questions that you want answered, send me the questions, send me pictures. As I said, I'm going to be doing this for about another month and then moving everything over to a YouTube channel. So hope you follow me there. And if you want a free 20-minute discovery call, the link is also down below. Have a great week. Bye-bye.